listen, we have a fantastic guest online. Oh my God. Her name is Khaliah Bruzual. She's Canadian born. She is a motivational as well as an aspirational speaker, a talk show host, an author. She is also, listen, founder and director and CEO of The Overcomer, and also director, founder, CEO of Fibro Fighters Stand Up. She has a powerful testimony dealing with chronic pain and helping others cope with this illness through her talk show, and it's entitled Chronic Pain Conversations. Ladies and gents, here is the one and only Khaliah. Hey, Khaliah.
Hey. Doing?
How you doing, sis?
I'm okay. I'm sitting here smiling on my face, thankful to be on your show.
Awesome. You got to tell me, first of all, how's the weather there in Canada?
Girl, so you're in Fahrenheit and we're in Celsius. It is -8 tonight.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Not okay. My body hurts.
Oh, yeah. We
My
got
body
to...
is not a wonderland, but my smile and my spirit is, so that's all that matters.
And you know what? You said the overcomer, and you're an overcomer. Yes, you are. We got to dive right into this powerful testimony. As far as, yes, because what I saw was that, okay, you got to talk about what happened to you, the car accidents that led up to this. Talk about that.
Okay, so I've been in 4 car accidents.
Wow.
The first one was in 2017.
Okay.
And I was hit on the passenger side door while I was the driver.
Yeah.
And the person made an unindicated lane change. And that really was the beginning of my chronic pain.
Okay.
And I later got diagnosed that same year with something called fibromyalgia.
Yes.
Which is a chronic pain. And really and truthfully, fibromyalgia means that you have chronic pain, but they don't know what it's associated with. So it's up to the person to decide whether or not they want to investigate it more. So I had some more issues that I was dealing with in terms of my health. I was having some inside issues like my IBS, my GERD, my hiatal hernia. I was having issues with, I couldn't work anymore. My body was just shutting down, and then it was having these twitches a lot.
Yeah.
So after going to the neurologist about a year and a half afterwards, I found out that I also had something called PNES, which is psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. So I get seizures, but they're not set off by the brain. They're more emotional, psychological. And so that's an interesting thing. Fast forward, because, I've been through so much prior to the accident that I was in a place where, you have that space where you're like, is this going to make me or break me? And when I said this is not going to be my last journey, my last stop, I made the conscious decision that I was going to fight certain things in my life, and one of those things is canoeing. I love nature. I love going out into the trees. I love driving. I love the water, and I refuse to let someone else's mistake take that away from me. So I worked with a really good clinician team, rheumatologists, neurologists, personal trainers, the psychologist, the physiotherapist, the massage therapist, so many different people. And I got to a place where last summer I was chaperoned, but I made it camping, and I made it a little bit on the water, and I was like, yeah, I'm making my way there. A week later from returning, I got hit on the driver's side door when I was on my way to pick up my mom. And that took me out all over again. And it left me in a place where all the hard work that I had done, it had decreased.
Yeah.
But it left me in a place. It was really funny because, you know, I know that you're spiritual, and I was, funny enough, as I was going through it, it was one of those things where it was like, God's with me right now. The way that it happened, the fact that it happened, you know, all these different things. And I was just like, okay, God, what is it that you need me to do? And my first car accident, I was really left with, you know, stay hush while you're dealing with the court case. But I saw so much pain in the chronic pain community, in the fibromyalgia community, so much depression, so much lack of knowledge, lack of resources, lack of understanding. And so when this new accident happened, being the motivational speaker and aspirational speaker already for 11, 12 years, I was like, this is where my new direction of ministry needs to be. So that's how I ended up having Fibro Fighters Stand Up. It's meant to be a nonprofit for low-income, government-assisted people. A lot when you're on government funding, the same thing that you were talking about earlier about health and eating right and you know, getting help and clinicians, they don't get that because, you know, we're, you know, we call it OSAP, but whatever government assistance is, doesn't give you all the benefits that you would have if you have a job. And so I would love to be able to, you know, help people learn in depth about what's going on, learn how to manage it, but also give them entrepreneurial options, because you have people that were supposed to be Olympic athletes who are moms, who are grandparents, who still have desires to fulfill, but they can't work a 9 to 5. And so that's where Fibro Fighters stood up. And then for chronic pain conversations, we needed to start having some really in-depth conversations because people didn't understand what it meant to live with chronic pain. So even this past week on Tuesday, our show was about intimacy and chronic pain. People don't think about, you know, what happens when you have arthritis? What happens when you have a back pain? What happens when you're having a seizure in the middle of it? What happens if you're having a flare-up in the middle of being intimate with somebody? What are some coping skills? So we try to have the conversations, the real in-depth conversations, and we share our experiences, myself and my co-host, Sharifa McLaren, but we're just trying to bring knowledge, insight, and uplift this community because they need it.
Yeah. I actually saw one of your shows where you were talking with a couple other guests there, and they also, you know, because a lot of times when people say chronic pain, they don't realize that it's like a lot of things. It could be this diagnosis, it could be that diagnosis. It may not be what you have, but it's something totally different. But chronic pain is chronic pain, and it entails so many things. I thought that was fantastic to, you know, to talk about that and to say, okay, my problem is fibromyalgia. My problem is GERD. But this other person's problem is probably like they have lupus or they have something else that may be considered like a chronic a problem that they're dealing with. And so I thought that was awesome to even talk about that. And because you'd be surprised how a lot of people have different problems. You know, with me being a nurse, I know people have a lot of diagnoses. And just to know that someone else is going through the same thing and that you can kind of piggyback off on that and give each other positive feedback to say, listen, I did this, and this worked for me. And just even talking about it, can also help to make you kind of feel a little bit better. And you know what else? Vent, exactly, venting. I saw when you did this short video, and I thought that was genius, to when you were just simply doing your hair. And it took you 18 minutes to do your hair because of the pain.
And then I was tired afterwards.
I'm sure you were.
Then it was so tiring afterwards. And the things that we take the simple things now for granted, like what it means for me to push open a heavy door on a bad day. Like I could be leaning into that thing like I'm ready to fall, or like I try to explain to people, what does chronic pain feel like?
Yeah.
You know, what's the difference between acute and chronic? Acute is when it's gonna go away.
Yeah.
You know, you might have broken your elbow and you have pain, but it's gonna alleviate. Chronic pain is lasting. And like you were saying, the gentleman that I had on the other day, like, you're sitting here at a young age playing basketball, playing soccer, playing some kind of sport, and then all of a sudden, for the rest of your life, you tore out your knee, and every time it gets cold, you can't get out of bed. It's Valentine's Day this weekend.
Right.
It's close to someone, you're like, what do I do? Am I gonna hurt myself? But not even just the act of doing it, but for some people, the act in itself hurts. Like, after my car accident, my hips went out. And so just to be intimate with somebody was hurting, and I was like, okay, that's it. We stop it for a while. Like, just shut it down, because you feel inadequate, or you feel like something's wrong with you, and it leaves people emotional. It leaves people with lower self-esteem, and we're not meant to live like that. You know, once we start accepting what our conditions are and learning how to manage through it or tweak life through it, you know, it's a great thing. Like, I have my chronic pain, but today I used a walking stick. I don't want a cane, but I have this bomb walking stick, you know, and I got it from nature, and everybody sees it, and they're like, I love your walking stick. It's me having help, but, you know, it's a different style, and I want people to understand that you can be you with the chronic pain.
Yeah. That's good. And the thing about it is, I love it that you have the determination to go on and to move on and to continue on. That's not stopping you. That's very important. You know what I mean? That you're working your way through it. Yes, it's there, but, you know, because some people could be like, oh, I just give up. Let me just, you know, die or whatever. But, you know, just to keep going.
Tell her that
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. Earlier in my life, that was my thought. When I had, you know, when I had been raped, when I was depressed, when I was going through suicidal thoughts, even as a younger person, as a teenager, those were my thoughts. But the one thing that keeps me going, I'll share this with you in the audience. My sister said to me in about my early 20s, something had happened, and she had said, is this going to be the thing that makes or breaks you? And she said, you have been through so much already. Is this going to be where you stop? And every time something happens in my life, because the fact of the matter is who are we not to go through things?
Right.
You know, one of my spiritual moms was like, Jesus went through things. How come you shouldn't go through things? Everybody else in life goes through things. How come you are so special that nothing negative should ever happen to you? But at the same token, what we consider to be negative, those hardships, they grow us, right? I tell people, like, when you look at your fruits, you were talking about tomatoes today, you got to take those seeds, you got to plant it. It has to push its way through the seed, through the dirt, come up, allow itself to grow, go through all of the horrific storms, still try to grow for a while, and then still blossom into something that's luxurious and luscious to your mouth. Why is it that we can't go through that? Why can't we go through the storms and the hardships, and sometimes it's cold, or sometimes we get flooded with rain, or sometimes the sun burns our skin, but we grow through it. And when we grow through it, the flowers and the fruits that come from us are so nourishing to this world. You know, it gives hope to other people. It gives strength to other people. So when every time something happens, I get to choose, is this where I want to stay? And if I still have dreams to obtain, if there are things that I still want to do, if I still want to live my life, the answer will be no. And I have my pity party. I get up, I dust myself off, and I keep moving.
That's awesome.
And it's other people that have put into me that keeps me moving.
That's good. And like you said, you know, God didn't promise us a bed of roses. And a lot of times people think it's just going to be easy. But, you know, this person may have this problem. This person may have this cross to bear. This person may have this. But long as we are focused on God. And I always say that this always gives us something to pray about and pray to the Lord about, to keep us humble, to keep us like looking, we're looking for a brighter day. With that being said, you mentioned something about the importance of just being you. Love yourself. Fall in love with yourself. I love that. Because that helps to boost also your self-esteem as well. Accepting you.
You have to. We sit here, I spent so many years trying to get affirmation from other people, trying to fit into what they wanted. And the truth of the matter is that psychologically, your teenage years, you're all the way up to your teenage years, you're trying to either please your parents or your school friends or things like that. Until your 20s that you start to push out on your own. Your 30s, you define yourself. Your 40s, you're like, I'm just going to do it my way. And then you get older and older, and you don't care what nobody says. It does come to that. But the sooner that you're able to love yourself, there's a freedom. That's the big word.
That's good.
When you love yourself, there's a freedom that no one can come up to you and say X, Y, and Z because you know who you are, especially in God.
That's it.
Yeah,
knowing who you are and whose you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes the difference. Praise God. And
And tell her, thank God she has a sound mind.
And my mom was saying, thank God that you have a sound mind.
That's actually because of God. That's because of my parents.
Thank you,
That's
Jesus.
because of my mom and dad.
There you go.
They've always been. My dad used to work for Ford, and so he grew me up learning how to get my hands dirty and teaching me how to weld. And I ended up having my apprenticeship in carpentry. My mom was the one that was always out there, giving to people. And I would see my mom give like her last penny to help somebody if they were in need. And so those were things that were instilled in me no matter what I went through in life. But don't get it twisted. There's been a few times I lost my mind. You'd be surprised, but even after the 2017 accident, I had to voluntarily admit myself into one of the hospital psych wards because the pills that I was taking was giving me suicidal thoughts, and you battle with, do I give into my thoughts or do I try to save my life for another day? And so, people always think, I'm really strong, but I'm like, I have days where I'm, battling, trying to figure out what's the next step? How do I pivot? What do I do?
Do you have then any days that you would actually get up and everything is fine for at least a day? Or is this something that goes on all the time? Like maybe in spurts, do you have like certain times when everything you feel okay?
Well, it varies. It comes down to a lot of things. It can come down to the weather. It can come down to what I've eaten, how much energy I've used. The truth of the matter is, unfortunately, I probably live with a minimum of a level 2-3 chronic pain every day. But I've also gotten used to it being there. It's not that it's not painful. It's just I just don't allow it to annoy me as much. Right.
Okay.
But then there's days where I'm shaking, and there's days where I can't speak, or I can't even use a mouse because my hands are hurting. So it's been such a shift. I've had to learn to stop being the independent octopus with the 8 arms, and have to be a team member, and lead a team. One of my mentors said to me once, I'd rather have your body not moving and just your brain than to have someone else's brain and their body moving. And when he said that to me, I was like, let me get a team.
Come on here.
If I can get other people to be my arms and my legs, so be it. But I've got stuff to share, and I will figure out a way to share it.
That's awesome. Because I was even going to ask you about like presentations and different things when people, have you come as one of their special guest speakers. with you having this, and you know your body, you've been dealing with this for years, would you then have someone to at least tell them about the triggers, as far as so that you won't have these non-epileptic seizures, those type of things, whereas the triggers could be like the presentations, maybe someone's blowing a whistle, maybe someone make these loud noises, boom, that type of thing, that, or these like they have a camera or a video that they're showing that kind of flash flickering, certain things that will cause you to set you off. Do you, when you go for that, especially if you know that there are different speakers, or even if it's by yourself, do you then try to forewarn them and tell them, please don't do this, so that you won't have, all these triggers and different things, and then you'll be able to speak and do what you need to do?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There is a place where I'm still learning my triggers.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
As much as I'm only 3 or 4 years. So, for example, last Canada Day, I was with family, and the fireworks set me off. So I hadn't actually gone out to fireworks, but it was because the neighbors were doing it in their backyard for Christmas. And it was literally 2 houses down. That shook my body. I didn't know. When I was going to church, the sound of the choir of praise and worship singing, the speakers were setting my body off.
Wow.
And so some things I've learned to adapt to be kind of tolerable to. It's kind of like the athlete that starts to get used to the cold water. Like they can sit in a cold bath of water. But it's not all the time. And sometimes I don't know what another presents. Like I was out in Lake Tahoe, and someone added a fire alarm to their presentation. Totally unexpected. And it set my body off. But the people that are around me, I have a medical travel assistant that I use, and I have family and friends that travel with me. And we do talk about what does trigger me, what are some of the pre-things to check out before. Like if I start feeling cold or I start rubbing my hands a certain way, they're starting to be pre-triggered. And if I do experience a trigger, before it gets too intense, somebody will respond or help me respond by removing me from the environment.
Okay.
So I have had people and I'm like, stop clapping.
Stop it.
Don't do it.
Right, exactly, right? And I gotta ask you this. I have to ask you this because actually, I'm a registered nurse, but I'm also a licensed massage therapist. Do you find do you like Effleurage Swedish massage versus the deep tissue? Which one kind of help you? Because some people that I knew, they said they really like that kind of slow deep tissue massage that kind of helped them versus the Swedish massaging. Just the regular. What did you like, and what helped you as far as your myofascia, fibromyalgia problem? Yeah.
Okay. So I was seeing a masseuse prior to my 2017 accident. And I really trusted her. So when we first started, I'm not going to lie, for about a good half a year or more, I would be crying when I came out of that. Because not only was she doing light touches, but she was cupping me as well, which was bringing back sensation to my body, but it was both painful, but at the same time needed. I ended up in California, and when I didn't trust anybody, I started off with a Swedish Thai massage. And so for me, I think that if you're having real difficulties doing any kind of massage, you definitely want to start with the Swedish or the Thai massage. And work your way through. The deep tissue massage is not something for everybody. It can send you into flare-ups for days. And what many people forget is, as a normal individual, if you have a massage, your body normally feels it within 24 to 48 hours anyhow, right? So when you have chronic pain and you're more sensitive, it can happen sooner and for longer. So I always say the person knows how much they can take.
Yeah.
And it may be that you're trying to just desensitize, and the first thing you're using is a rolling ball.
Okay, yeah.
Some people need to start at home with a rolling ball. When they get to the masseuse, then they try lighter touches. But if you're not used to it, don't go for a deep tissue massages yet. You'll be in so much pain.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because back in the day, one of the ladies, she says she had liked the deep tissue, had helped her, and maybe she probably started off, like you said, with the Swedish, and then kind of, they kind of progressed to that where she was more comfortable with that. That's awesome to hear. Let's talk about your foundation.
Okay.
That time just goes, girly.
Girl, okay. So Fiber Fighters Stand Up is led by chronic pain sufferers for chronic pain sufferers. So the concept of this, again, is we want to help people with chronic pain. So one of the things is a lot of people haven't done a treatment assessment.
Okay.
We did a survey. Right now, if you go on to my Facebook or my site or anything, you'll see that there's a chronic pain survey. And we had so many people fill it out. And yet, most people only see physicians or the pharmacist. Don't get nerve block injections. They don't see the chiro or the masseuse therapist.
Right.
A lot of people focus more on the drugs instead of the natural. And so we want to show them that there's other options. Plus, there are already pain management programs out there, but a lot of them that are given to the they're put through the hospitals and different things are normally only 2 months, maybe 8 classes. And we're talking about the rest of people's life. When you deal with chronic pain, it's for the rest of your life. So an 8-week course once a week isn't going to do anything. What we want to do is we're trying to get funding so that we can elongate it to be a year.
Okay.
So that, every month you're talking in one topic. You can really talk about the order in which you're taking your prescriptions because, if you take one prescription, it might make you really tired. It could make you depressed. It could make you very energetic. And if you take an energetic pill at 8 o'clock at night, you're up for the whole night, right? And then you're crashing in the morning.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things that we want to teach people about what they're eating, how to, all the different topics, like I said, about intimacy or pacing yourself or still being able to reach your goals. So we want to take these programs and elongate them, but also give people the opportunity to understand entrepreneurial options.
Okay.
And that can be anywhere between having your own business, doing a network marketing, kind of doing investments or realties, what people want. There are people that used to bake and don't know that there's government assistance, that if you're trying to do your job, when you're on disability, you can get an assistant to help you. It's part of the budget that they give you.
Okay.
There's a lot of different things that are out there, and so we want to educate our people to get off of government assistance or not rely upon it as much so that they can pay for their own clinician and put more income into their house and live the life that they really want to live.
That's good. That time just go. I have 6 minutes left, but we have to talk just briefly about this book that you launched. I Pray on Purpose because you got to talk about that. You got to talk about that real quick.
Okay, really quickly. I Pray on Purpose is a collaboration with about 50 other authors, and everybody got one page. But one of my other mentors felt that because I've been in prayer ministry for so long that I should be submitting for this. So it is my first book that has been published. I've co-authored it, but I am working on 2 other books. One is my biography, and one is about my journey to the psych ward that Thanksgiving weekend. So I'm working on some other stuff too.
Okay. Awesome. Now, you have to tell us, how do we get in touch with you via social media, and then how can we support you? How can we purchase the book? All that.
Okay. So, with Chronic Pain Conversations, get the word out. Share it.
Okay.
Look and see what kind of topics that we're having because we're talking about so many things.
Yeah.
And we're trying to connect for Fiber Fighters Stand Up. If you want to help the cause that we're doing in terms of helping people get off of the government assistance or increase their income, make the donation. Let us know how you can help. If you're a clinician, we would love. We're creating the database where we are trying to get everybody to let us know what part of Canada or the United States that they're in, because we want to be able to refer people to clinicians that really care about chronic pain sufferers. And for me, the Overcomer, well, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all the Overcomer. So there's a twist to it. There's no ER, just an R.
I love it. I love it. How genius is that?
It's a strong R. It's the Overcomer. I'm resilient. I'm resourceful. I'm still real.
Yeah.
So there's
That's
that.
awesome.
And same thing with the website. So www.THEOVERCOMR.
That's
The Overcomer.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's awesome. Yay!
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
I really appreciate, because, you'd be surprised. It's like the stats, I was reading somewhere where the stats, it was really high in regards to people who do have chronic illnesses and different things like that. So people out there, if you do have any chronic pain, chronic illness, you're not by yourself.
That's
lots
right.
and lots, millions and millions of people do have that problem here, and also USA, also in Canada. It's just a lot. It's a lot. So I do.
For people.
Yeah, I really, really, truly do appreciate you just, talking with me, and also the audience out there who are looking. Listen, people, repost, share my show, because we want this to go and spread everywhere. All right, so listen, keep in touch with me, okay? I do follow you,
Thank you. I'm following you too, girl. I'm following you too.
All right, have a good one, okay?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I tell you, I pray on purpose, because prayers for faith, hope, victory, and deliverance. And it's wonderful that she shared this with different women, written by praying women, because, again, God didn't promise us a bed of roses here. We're going to have different problems, different things, deal with whether it be chronic pain and other things. People who could be a pain, whatever. Right. But, if we put Christ first, then we can, deal with it better.
Because the Bible said that if we keep our mind on Him and keep it in perfect peace.
Come on.
Number one, our mind is just like a tree. Yeah. We've got the limbs. And on that tree, a lot of stuff light on that tree. You have the birds, you have some of everything. But you cannot keep it from not lighting on the tree. But don't let it make a nest.
Come on here. Wisdom?
No.
Wisdom?
So that means it's there to stay. If you don't entertain it, because if you entertain it, it becomes a monster. It takes over. But you have to shake it off,
right,
and concentrate on something else. Sometimes something bothers you. Get busy and do something, because the Bible says give no space.
Right.
So we have to learn how
and
to...
also, what you were telling me also, instead of having these pity parties and woe is me kind of things, go help somebody else out.
Right.
Go serve somebody.
Right.
Go feed somebody. Go do something else that, instead of that, because like you said, you sit there and you wonder about different things, and woe is me, and worried about this, and what if, what. Forget about that.
When you're sitting down, you're holding the devil on your lap. Stand up.
Come on here.
And throw him off.
Come on.
And then you get busy. About your business.
Wisdom, okay? All right. Listen, that time just goes. Next week, we have a special guest who will be calling in. I think it's from the ATL. He is producer and director. His name is Keith Terrell. He actually I forgot the name of this. It's something that I have that I'm going to actually show some of his work. I mean, what I saw, it was really good. Consider like everyone can actually watch this movie that he did, and I just don't have it written here, but I saw a part of it, and I definitely want to show it next week of his work. He's like a genius, to be honest. He really is. So he's going to be my guest next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. PST Hollywood time. So be sure to tune in, and please, people, repost, share my show. Let me say my goodbyes. That time just goes, I tell you.
Right.
To the Nigerians, Odabo, to the French, au revoir, to the Indian people, Velosta, to the Spanish, adios, to the Ethiopians, and also those Vietnamese people, ciao, to the Italians, arrivederci, to the Koreans, annyeonghaseyo, to the Pakistan, al-Hafaz, to the Russians, das vidanya, and all the English people. You know I can't leave you out, but I always call you last but not least, right? See y'all later. Have a good one. Repost, share my show. Take care. Bye.
Let's talk about the positive life. The positive life.